What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Heroes Hearth Warcraft 3. My name is Kendric, and we present to you another replay cast between two European titans, if you will. We have SyDe and Kevin representing the Undeads and the Night Elves here, respectively. Now, these are two very interesting players to begin with, because first of all, SyDe, we have him here on the top left corner of Twisted Meadows. He's been around for a long time now. He's without a doubt one of the most active pro players that we have in Europe, at least. He is getting very good results in. He hasn't really made it into the very top echelon of players on the same level as Hawk, Happy, or Foggy, but he's always at the cusp of making it there. And if he continues his momentum and his rigorous training, I would say he definitely has what it takes to make it there one day. So yeah, let's see what he brings to the table in this match against Kevin, man. And Kevin, my boy from Germany, he's been grinding the ladder. He's been pumping out those games wherever you go, whichever cup you watch these days. Kevin is likely going to participate in it, whether it's the Rising Star Cup or the ESL Open Cups. You know, pretty much whenever I tune back to Warcraft, Kevin is always playing. You know, and he's always there, proving to be really solid. I mean, he's never really underperforming, I feel, but he's also never really making those big hits. Very similar to SyDe. I would say these two players have yet to make it really to really blast through the chains that are holding them back so far. And let's see who has the upper hand in this straight up head-to-head rivalry when we see them here in Twisted Meadows. Of course, the Undead Night Elf matchup on this map is a very special one. Undeads have had problems with Night Elves on this particular map ever since really the newest patches, because the Night Elves and their ability to just drop in those mass expansions and Undeads with relatively weak siege damage with Fiends and maybe a couple of heroes and statues in the back, they have a hard time really kicking those expansions, you know, and destroying them once they're up. And that's going to be one of the challenges that SyDe potentially has to go up to. Of course, SyDe, though, is known to sometimes mix things up a little bit, you know, going Dreadlord, fast expansion himself, that's his favorite style. He also scouts out the Night Elf player Kevin, immediately taking down one Wisp. That will actually cause this Ancient of War to take way more damage. And see, these two Null Wardens, they're still attacking. Now, the first set of skeletons have been popped and have been resurrected, but no way. Kevin, being so smart, being the good player that he is, dropped two Wisps here. One could get sniped, that's no biggie, and those skeletons then with one detonate were instantly dispelled. Very cute move. By the way, Kevin, oh, nice steal here by SyDe, really dropping a big chunk of XP here away from the Night Elf player. But by the way, SyDe, such a good player when it comes to DK control, really. I feel like next to Happy, there aren't really that many European Undeads, maybe Enta too, that can sort of, you know, tell him how it's done when it comes to stealing experience and stealing creeps away from his opponents. By the way, Kevin, we have to talk about this early hero choice on his side. He plays the Warden. That is a style that has been popularized, as you guys all know, by the Korean player Law Liot. He's using that hero like no other in the world, really. It's a very challenging style. It's very micro-intensive. You know, you really have to have your mechanics on lock when you play the Warden. One wrong move, one false step, and she's not the tankiest here. She's quite squishy, actually. That could be the end of her. However, it's very rewarding too. You know, if you no pun intended, by the way. See, very rewarding. If you have a good game with her, because she has flashy damage output later on. She has one of the best level 6 in the game, probably game winning. That talent alone, so that's usually the go-to strategy for Warden players. Solo hero, creep as much and as fast as you can, and Twisted Meadows is just a perfect map to do exactly that, with several orange and red camps at the Night Elf player's disposal. Kevin moves on over to the mercenary camp. By the way, gets scouted out by SyDe. Despite nighttime, it should be enough on the vision radius to see the corpses and now the Night Elven army. Nicely done by him. SyDe, by the way, after early aggression, decides no longer to pursue the Night Elf player. Instead, he goes for another creep camp. Even used a skull here to provide unholy ground for additional health regen, and especially combined with the level 2 unholy aura, that is actually quite the notable difference. A lot of times people will wonder if these 50 gold invested into the skull are worth it, but I would say yes, especially when you don't have that many units and you don't want to take that much damage on your hero especially. So, well done by SyDe. And Kevin, though, he is in for that level 3. He wants to get that Shadow Strike level 2. By the way, It's not safe to say if he's going to go Blink, although against Undead and the hero focus, I would heavily suggest doing so. Hasn't really skilled his second level or his second skill yet. It could go Dagger. It could be Daggers, Fan of Knives, and Shadow Strike, although that's very mana consuming. Very, very mana consuming, so you'd always have to carry at least one mana pawn. Speaking of the inventory, by the way, so far, nothing special. Greater healing for the Warden, as you can see. And, you know, SyDe, after this early aggression, continues to do his thing. He wants to get that level 2 coil as fast as possible. Now his Fiend's in the mix, of course. That allows for way safer creeping. He's toying with the AI of the mercenary camp a little bit. Tries to go for a surround on the rock golem. Does so successfully right now. The skeleton might be dead, but the ghoul already there to fill the gap in to keep these surrounds intact here. Very nice. Item, greater mana. That is the best booty that any undead player, any player really could hope for. And here is the level 3, level 2 coil now in the mix, combined with Nova level 1 of the Lich. Perfect timing really to have this first wave of hero nuking in your arsenal as an undead player. Really well done. Let's take a look at the bases here, by the way. We see Ancient of Wonders, Ancient of Lore coming through, so no mass tier 1 unit style that we see from other Nightelf players. Let's see. The Ancient of War is still in the middle of nowhere. And now for both players, it's really just time to rally your armies, rally your forces. By the way, Kevin found Scourge Bone Chimes.
The town is under siege.
So, I remember talking to Grubby about this on Fight Night as well, when we compared the Demon Hunter to the Warden. Both of them are agility heroes, as you guys know. However, the Demon Hunter is a combat fighter. You know, he wants to be spending as much time in combat as possible with strong right clicks, mana burn. He can really be empowered by strong DPS items such as claws and orbs. The Warden is not really that. Because of her lack of evasion that the Demon Hunter has, because of the lack of mana burn to cripple the damage output of enemy heroes, she is more of a caster. She wants to drop her abilities and then go out. She wants to blink in, blink to safety if needed. Blink was skilled here, by the way, by the Warden, as you can see. But she's not that prolonged frontliner like a Demon Hunter is. You can see this mobility here coming through, by the way, by the Warden once again. SyDe dropping in additional Ziggurat support, by the way, with 2 Acolytes joining the fray there as well. There comes the Naga, and more mercenary reinforcements join Kevin as well, who's now desperately fighting for his life, because if these Ziggurats go through, it might be lights out. It's right in Kevin's face. There's no wisp to really detonate anymore. The Fiends are here to stay as well, and these 3 Fiends, I think, are a real problem. These 3 Fiends, if left uncontended, could be a problem. But here we see a damage. Shadow Strike is going to be on the DK, who TPs away and dies only in his base as well. The tick was perfectly timed and was enough. SyDe definitely gambled a little bit because maybe that TP invulnerability could have prevented that last tick, but it was not meant to be. Now, DK down, but was this attention, was this split of focus really well done here? We see 1 Ancient Protector in the back. This is good. It outranges the Ziggurat right now, which is currently still producing as well. The Nerubian Tower has no chance of damaging this, so can Kevin really hold this? I mean, there is a lot of resources right now probably for SyDe because he hasn't been producing more units. So yeah, the DK is currently being rebought. Has a greater mana, uses this one immediately to heal the Lich as well. And now, are we seeing some Fiends finally falling here? The Warden is furious and angry, tries to kill these units even more, but the statue is such a big boon right now. Unholy Ground, Burrow, and Statue is preventing this Fiend from dying to a Shadow Strike here. Second AP, though, has been produced, is currently rooting in as well. This looks like a good defense right now. If only Kevin can find more power, more oomph to his army. The 2 Acolytes, by the way, are also untouched. I take that back. I think it looks actually really good for the Undead player right now. SyDe, he's tightening the grip. He's pulling in more and more damage. Snipes a Dryad. Dryads against the Spirit Tower and the Fiends might not be the right unit choice, but what else is there really for Kevin to produce? He builds the first Mountain Giant. The siege damage with the tree in his hand could certainly help out as well. Nice micro and target focus really by SyDe, prioritizing the wisps over the structures. So this is really now anyone's game. How much healing is there left in the Moonwells of Kevin? Certainly playing a crucial role right now, but there's no units, there's no hero pressure to really defend the structures. 1 AP goes down in any second right now. The DK fully rejuvenated, looking good, looking dapper and fly as always. Here we see the Lich, by the way, has enough mana for another Nova very soon. Also has another Sacrificial Skull to extend the area of Unholy Ground even more. This is a very stable position for SyDe. I think he has this on lock if he makes no crucial mistakes right now. I think he could just take down this Moonwell, perhaps, you know, softening up the regeneration potential for the Night Elf player. And I think he's going to do exactly that. Would Kevin even be supply blocked here? I think it would be, yes. If he kills one Moonwell, he's going to be at 29 out of 30. This is a big problem. Oh, the Naga. She came out a little bit too far, did she not? And here goes the Hero Nuke. Has a healing pot, though. A Meat Wagon in the mix. Can the Acolytes actually heal it up fully? One more auto attack is all it needs. There it goes. It goes down. So, once again, the tightening grip has been loosened for the time being. Just a little bit, though. Attempted body block by SyDe. Not enough for now. He could actually sell the Scourge Bone Chimes, I think, Kevin, that is, to really help him out with the resources. Oh, another body block coming in. Staffed out, though. These players are currently micring out of their mind. He had to choose the Mountain Giant, though, and that means it was no longer available for the Naga Sea Witch. She falls, is the first victim here of SyDe, and that is going to be a problem. No longer does he have enough resources to bring back that second hero. The Altar of Elders is currently being focused next. Even the Acolytes are joining the fray. Additional normal damage. Why not? It's just a tiny little bit of damage, but every number counts. And I think this is spiraling out of control more and more for Kevin, the brave Night Elf player from Germany. What can he do right now? He's probably going to try to creep something in the meantime. You know, to get those resources back, to desperately get the Warden up to level 5. Of course, it's so far away, 4.1 right now. It's not enough. In the meantime, SyDe is wreaking absolute havoc in the base of the Night Elf, completely abandoned right now. Is he going to get more Meat Wagons in there? Yes, one actually in the mix. So much siege damage right now. He tries to get the item, Kevin that is, but oh boy, does his Warden drop low in HP. Against 2 undead heroes with nuke available, I am not so sure if this is a wise and recoverable situation right now. He's actually trying to completely rebuild. He built a Tree of Life outside of his base. He's trying to rebuild his base there, really. Could he go for an expansion? But that is, I think, even if it works out and he stalls more time in his main base, it's just too close to where SyDe is at the moment, I think. It's probably a valiant effort by the Night Elf player, but what is it really going to matter? Oh, there's a coil. There's a Nova. There's a coil. If the Warden falls, it's over. Blinks to safety. Oh, SyDe is not neglecting a single thing. He's body blocking that poor Dryad like there was no tomorrow. One more attack. Staff goes through. And the Dryad should be safety here. Yep. 2 Moonwells. But man, is Kevin broke or what? He's running out of options. He has to rebuild the entire base. Against level 2 Lich. Level 3 DK. And of course, it's a natural decision, you know. Jukes the coil, though, with a nice blink. Nicely done. Some fast fingers on the side of Kevin, but yeah, this is just a question of time, really. SyDe says, thank you very much. I like your base. I shall take that for now. And I think that could be it, really. Like Kevin, I mean, you have to understand, he is a very ambitious, a very eager player, but it might be over at this point. I think he's just trying to stall out at least a little bit of time. The base is running, the mine is entangling, but hey, what are you going to do against this DK Lich nuke? Not a whole lot. It's just nothing. She got the invul, but what solution is there really? I think Kevin is just delaying the inevitable. He uses the staff. He's all over the map right now. The German fighting like a lion, but there's nothing left to be done. The moment this undead army pierces into the last remaining defenses of the Night Elf player, the game is going to be over. And I think Kevin, at any given point in time right now, is going to tap out with this Meat Wagon, hammering on his last defense line. Probably the Warden or some more Dryads are going to fall.
Town is under siege.
And Twisted Meadows, man. It's oftentimes a map that Night Elves like to pick against Undeads. But what are you going to do? He even says second time in 2 days. Not easy to hold that. It looks like SyDe has done it several times to poor Kevin. This mid-game push with Fiends, DK Lich, and 2 Ziggurats in the back. But yeah, that was a really cool strategy by SyDe in the first place, I would like to say. You don't very often see Undeads using the Sacrificial Skull to drop buildings in front of their opponent's base. But the Ziggurats made it through. I also like this Ziggurat positioning next to the trees. So you basically limit the surface area of which enemy units could attack from. Very, very cool. And I'm happy we found this replay. Hope you guys enjoyed this new twist in the Undead Night Elf matchup. Perhaps you can try this strategy out in your own ladder games and catch some unaware, innocent Night Elf opponents by surprise. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up here. Leave a subscription as well if you want to see more in the future. And until then, I see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.